Dear friends, greetings to all. Today I am going to cover about the sensory evaluation of the food products. Before taking the topic, so I will introduce myself. Myself is Raja. I am working as an assistant professor in Excel Engineering College. I am working in the Department of Food Technology. So we'll move on to the topic. So the step presentation goes like this. First, we are going to discuss about the objectives, introduction, selection of the panel members for sensory evaluation, and sample preparation for sensory evaluation. Types of the test will be conducted for sensory evaluation of the food products and its applications. So the objectives of the sensory evaluation of the food products goes like this. The underline the importance and significance of the sensory evaluations, enlist the quality control aspects of sensory evaluation, evaluate and assess the quality of the food product based on the sensory parameters. The sensory evaluation as a tool for improvements in quality of food products besides creating the consumer acceptance. So as we all know that the product, one, we can manufacture the any type of the product, but it should be acceptable by the consumer, so then only the processor can make benefit. So the for the betterment of the consumer, we have to make a better product or good quality product. Okay, so in line with the consumer acceptance, we are working on it. So we have to meet out the consumer satisfactory level, then only the product can be sold in the market. Next one, the introduction. The sensory behavior of food products is mainly depends on the consumer acceptability. So here, unless the food products meet the desired standards of taste, flavor, texture, and etc., the consumer will not accept the product. The overall quality of the food product depends on the many factors such as quantity, the amount which we are paying for the food product, whether it having the meeting the requirement of the quantity and quality of the ingredients which is used for manufacturing the product, and nutritional parameters. It should be labeled on the food packing material, and physiochemical and physiomechanical parameters. Several other hidden attributes and sensory properties are present which will determine the overall quality of the food product. At the same time of buying of any food product, we should look for nutritional parameters like calories for the food product. If we consume the food product for 100 gram, how much amount of calories will produce, and vitamins, minerals, and proteins present in the food product. It should be labeled and it will be easily understandable by the consumer. Likewise, the packaging and labeling of nutritional parameters are very important. The most it should the packaging is very important because it's not affect the food product, and it should maintain the freshness of the food product. The most important parameter for both processors and consumer is the sensory quality. So that's why the most of the industry is giving much importance for sensory evaluation. As the name suggests that the term sensory is related to the senses of human being. The sensory quality is important to processor since it attracts the consumer, but it is equally important to the consumers since it satisfies their aesthetic and gustatory senses. The sensory evaluation of the product is assuming increasing significance as it provides information for several purposes like quality control, assessment of process variation, cost reduction, product improvement, shelf life, a new product development, and analysis of market. So once the manufacturer plan to manufacture the product, they have to do the market survey. So who are all the competitors? What are all the products available in the market? What is the drawbacks of the existing product? Okay, what kind of parameters which will be excuse me, what kind of parameters which will be attracting the consumers. They have to do clear market survey either by the company or by the third party people. So it is mandatory by doing the sensory evaluation for manufacturing the product. Next one, the basic steps to perform the sensory analysis are selection of the proper panel members. That is very important. Then only we can get the clear information about the product, maintaining suitable environmental conditions and use of standard equipment for test, obtaining representative samples, preparation and presentation of the samples for evaluation in a manner that ensures the uniformity and the representation of the sample. All for if you have a group of panel members, we have to give uniform sample. The quantity as well as the quality also should be same. Then only we can get the unbiased results from the panel members. The selection of the proper methods and statistical techniques, nowadays mostly they are using ANOVA methods. So they either by the excuse either by the optimization methods or by the standard ANOVA techniques they are using for screening the parameters. Selection of the panel members. For any sensory evaluation test, at least 10 members 10 panel members should be selected in a panel. The panel members should be recruited based on the various criteria such as interest and motivation. First, the panel members should have their own interest for eating the food product. Then only they can evaluate the different types of the food product. They should have own interest, then we should not force anyone. If they have own volunteer person, it is more important. The volunteer persons will give the unbiased result. And attitude, the flexible attitude people is very important because they will test the various types of the products. If you have a rigid attitude people, they assume we are going to test the non-vegetarian food product. So if the vegetarian people are coming for sensory evaluation, they will be very rigid with the attitude. So we have to select the panel members very carefully with the flexible attitude people. And knowledge and aptitude, the panel members should have a prior knowledge about the product, and then only they can give the product characteristics and health of the panel members. Mostly the very good healthy people only will be selected for the panel members to do the sensory evaluation. There should not be any disabilities of the people, because it's not harm the panel members also. And ability to communicate properly, that is very very important. So here they can taste the product, they can do the sensory evaluation, but if they are not able to communicate properly, we will not able to judge the product properly. So it is very very important, we have to communicate what they are perceiving about the product. That is very important. Next one, selection of the panels. We have here three types of the panel members. So here first one is trained panel members, it will be called as laboratory panel. Second one is called as semi trained panel members. Third one will be untrained panel members, it will be called as consumer panel. So in the trained panel member, so the panel members will be trained based on the particular specific type of the product. It will be called as laboratory panel. They will do the all characteristics about the product, sensory characteristics. They will do it, and they will give the clear information about the food product. Next one is semi-trained people, semi-trained panel members. So in which the panel members, so first one is in the trained panel members, maximum 20 panel members will be present in the trained panel group, and the semi trained panel group, it will be from 20 to 50. So in which 50 percentage of the people are trained panel members, 50 percentage will be untrained panel members. They can able to judge the product. And last one is very important, untrained panel, because we can manufacture the product. Once it is evaluated by the trained panel members, it will be given to the consumer at free of cost to gather the information about the product, in line with the consumer acceptance. So here they will do the maximum 100 panel members will be present in their group, that will be called as consumer panel. Next one is a selection of the panel. How we are going to select the panel members? The qualifications for panelists: sound health without any defects affecting the sensory perception, average sensitivity, capability of independent judgment, ability to concentrate, train and learn, intellectual curiosity and interest in quality evaluation work, willingness to spend time in the evaluation and submission to periodic test, freedom from prejudice in respect to the particular food product, and food enthusiastic, having the liking for trying different types of the food product. These are all the basic qualifications required for the panel members. Screening, training, and briefing the panel. So here first we have to screen the panel group of the people whether they are based on the willingness and their motivation and own interest. We have to select the panel members and we have to give the basic training for the panel members. And before testing the product we have to briefing about, we have to give the clear instruction about the product and what we are going to test it. That is very very important. This is the three methodology they are following in the industry. All the three methodology is very important to obtain the very good result about the sensory evaluation of the food product. Sample preparation is very very important. The sample preparation, the sample should be prepared in a way to bring out the difference in a particular quality attribute under evaluation. All variables, here it is very important, all variables for all type of the samples like temperature, time of boiling, quantity, and composition of water, blending, etc. should be controlled to ensure identical method of preparation for all samples. If we have panel members having around 100 panel members in a group, we have to give uniform sample for evaluation. Then only we can obtain the unbiased result. Next, care should be taken that no loss of flavor occurs and no foreign taste or orders are imported by the procedure during preparation, storage, and serving, etc. So it will helpful to get the very good sensory evaluation of the food product. The sample preparation and the sample presentation is very important to get the very good result. So in which we are coming to the heart of the sensory evaluation of the product. So here the type, what are the types of the test, different types of the test will be carried out about the on the food product. Here we have two major category. One is called as analytical test, another one is called as affective test. The analytical test, we are evaluating the differences in the food product based on the clarity, quality, and quantity of the sensory characteristics of the food product. It will vary based on the depends on the types of the test. We will come to the next slide. The affective test. The affective test here are based on the evaluation preferences and our acceptance and our opinions of the food product. So mainly it is based on the acceptance. So here first one is analytical test. Discriminate, here we have here under analytical test we have two category. One is called as discriminative test, another one is called as descriptive test. In the discriminative test we are differentiating the food product based on the based on the coded sample or based on the standard sample and based on the sensitivity of the food product. Next one is a descriptive. In the descriptive we have attribute rating. This here we are doing the flavor analysis, profile flavor analysis, texture analysis of the food product. So here we will do the detailed analysis of the food product. Next one is the affective test. As I mentioned earlier, affective test, it is based on the acceptance level of the consumer. So mostly it will be called as consumer level analysis. So analytical test will be called as laboratory level analysis. So here in which very important for, I already told you, we have to screen the panel members. So screening, training, and briefing the panel member. Once the panel members are screened, we have to give the basic training for the panel members. So before giving the training, we have to give the briefing to the panel members about the food product. So first they will do the basic training by giving the by carrying out the different tests. So here paired comparison test. So in the paired comparison test is one of the basic tests to evaluate the trained panel members. Here two coded samples will be given. So they have to identify whether the two coded samples are different or are identical. It is very important to check the panel members. Next one is Dio-Trio test. The Dio-Trio test is one of the basic analytical test in which here two identical sample and one non-identical sample will be there. Among the three sample, One will be a called as standard sample, another two will be is a we have to recognize which one is matching with the standard sample. So assume that we have a b c three samples are present. So here a is a standard sample, we have to check whether b is matching with the coded standard sample called a, or c is matching with the a. So which one is matching with the a component, that is standard sample, that is called as DO trio test. So I will repeat once again. In DO trials test is one of the important tests for screening the panel members. They will give the one standard sample, two non-standard sample. So in which two identical sample will be there, one non-identical sample will be there. So the standard sample will be compared with the two non-identified sample. They have to check which is matching with the standard sample. Next one is a triangle test. It is also followed in the industry in which excuse me, there will be a three coded sample will be there. There is no standard sample, there is no standard sample present in the triangle test. So here we have A, B, C. So in the previous case, A is standard, but here we doesn't know which one is standard. So we have to compare all the three sample, which in which the whether A or B, A and B are identical or C is non-identical. We have to recognize and we have to give the report. So we have to identify two identical sample and one non-identical sample in the triangle test. Next one is a ranking test. Here ranking, we have to rank the test, rank the food products based on the sensory analysis. So this is called as difference test. And the difference test mostly they will carry out paired comparison, Dioptria test and the triangle test in the to screen the panel members and for giving to provide the training to the panel members also. Next one, sensitivity test. So in that sensitivity test, in the first they will mostly they will carry out the threshold level test. The threshold level test is to recognize the minimum level of detection concentration required to sense the food product. That is very important. So this is, it will be done by mostly done by the trained panel members. Next one is called as descriptive test. The descriptive test, they will do the flavor analysis for the food product. What are the flavors present? What kind of flavors are present? Everything they will do it. Similarly, they will do the texture profile analysis. So we are coming to the important topic that is called as affective test. Once it is tested by the laboratory level, it will be sent to the the sample will be given to the consumer to check the acceptance level of the food product. So mostly it will be done by a different parameter analysis like paired performance, different test like paired performance test, ranking test and rating hedonic scale test. In the hedonic scale we have two category, verbal method or facial method. So mostly in the industry they are carrying out hedonic scale, verbal method, affective test to check the consumer acceptance of the food product. Next one, the end of the presentation, applications of the sensory evaluation. The new product development, product improvement, process change, cost reduction, and it can be useful for quality control, storage stability studies, and product grading or, or rating. Thank you.